All right, welcome, Angelos, and we are looking forward to hearing you. Go ahead, please.
Well, thank you, Wissam. Um, but we're probably going to talk about the two books and myself. Where do you want to start?
So, what inspired you to write the first book, and what was the driving force behind it? These kind of things.
All right. I think I was about 28 when I finished my studies in Australia. And then I came back to Greece. And it was a bit of a shock because it's totally different culture. And people were polite and smiling and stuff in Australia. When I came back, although we think we are the brightest and the happiest and everything, I didn't feel like it. So I started saying hello to people that I didn't know, started smiling. I didn't see much of a response. And I started giving talks. I started working as a psychology professor, and I created a club that was called WC, which I remember now, it was called the Winners Club, not Toilet, WC. And I invited students who were motivated and smiling and optimistic and positive to join. And that thing grew up. And eventually we had a lot of members, and we had meetings and did a bit of seminars and stuff. Then I started giving seminars to big companies, and people asked me for my notes, just like people do in your seminars and the webinars that we do. So I started producing notes, and eventually I said, okay, enough. I'm not going to produce more notes. I'm going to make it a little book. And the little book became a big book. And that's how it ended up with the first book, which was how to change things in your life, Prince to Frog and vice versa. So you probably want.
And what is the main message of the book? You know, I'm going to interview you. Okay, let's do it like this then. What's the main message of the book? If you could summarize it, for example, in the elevator pitch, what would be the elevator pitch for your book?
Okay, the elevator pitch is that we're born beautiful babies and we have the potential to become princes, but eventually after 20 or 30 years of bad habits, bad company, we end up being frogs. We start with a tiny bum like this, and eventually after 20 or 40 years, our bum becomes this big. So it's both changing how you feel and changing how you look and how you behave and stuff. But it's written in a funny way. There's a lot of cartoons, a lot of stories. It's not the serious psychology, Freud, psychoanalytic book.
So could you tell us one of these funny stories?
No, there's plenty. There's plenty of metaphors in it. What I wanted to do is to perhaps show you the website and go through it so that people see where they can find.
Yeah, please, very welcome.
Is that okay with you guys?
Absolutely, of course.
Yeah. I see a lot of familiar phrases.
Meet the author. Wait, let me pause the.
So let me show you around my website. And this is the homepage where this is my elevator speech. If you meet me, that's what I'm going to tell you that I do. I help other people change their reality or manage their perceptions of reality while they're having fun in the process. And you can do that by selling drugs, but there's another way to do that. So this is basically the raw method that you can find here. It's one of the applications. And that's the subject of my second book. What it says is that if you want to change your life, you can do it by changing the actual conditions in your life, but that may be difficult sometimes. And when you cannot do that, then what you need to do is to change the way you see things. And that was the subject of the talk that we gave, that I gave to you in your lovely group 2 days ago. The raw method and Idiots Are Invisible, the second book. So I challenge you to click here, to not click here and to click here, but I'm not going to do it. I'll let you play with it. Most people go here instead of here. Here's let me just show you the main menu. The books are here, and reader comments. You can post your comments if you want here when you read it. These are the topics of my seminars, and I'll go through these quickly. List of clients, past events, testimonials from people who attended my seminars. What I do in terms of consulting as a higher education consultant, and lots of other things. This is my favorite thing lately. This is my purpose in life, I think, to help people figure out how to tell false information from true information, how to think critically. So this is what I do for free. And the other stuff I schedule. There's a lot of free stuff, including some applications. I'll go through these again quickly later. There's an online course for the second book, which is Idiots Are Invincible. And this is free. And this one is also free. Ebooks and sample ebooks. You can download the sample. Most of my life is in Greece, apart from 12 years in Australia, 10 or 12 years. Articles, presentations, etc. If you want to find out for serious people, this is the basic stuff. And the other is for not so serious people. But here's my CV. So quickly, who am I? I studied in Greece, my bachelor's, then moved to Ithaca College, upstate New York, with a scholarship because I was a poor student. And then I did a PhD in a town called Wollongong, which is 1 hour south of Sydney. Beautiful city, next to the water and the mountain. And then I worked at a number of universities. Again, most of the time, I spent 10 years at the University of Sheffield in Greece as a director of psychology department. And then I moved back to Australia, the University of Swinburne Online. And now I'm back to Greece, Cyprus, working online. I worked at other universities as well. And I've taught a number of courses, such as applied statistics research, sports psychology, applied psychology, social psychology. I have a TEDx presentation, and I've attended my favorite pastime, I guess, is attending webinars and courses on MOOC, etc. If you have any questions, don't feel free to interrupt, because now I'm going back to the books. Book now. This is the bookshelf in one of the main bookshops in Melbourne. So I'm next to Freud, as you can see. There's lots of Freuds here and only 3 Dr. Ross here. There's more behind. But Freud, we tend to teach Freud at the history department in large universities, in good universities. Because although he was #1 at that stage, his theories have not been supported by research, by experiments. So not much value in his teachings other than historical value. So here are the 2 books. The first one was written 20 years ago, but it's been edited and re-edited and published again. And as I said before, this is if you want to change things in your life or if you want to change other people. We're just going to go the next page to read the, oops, I want to bite. Here, more. I love the cartoon. It's about, again, changing yourself and others, but using applied ideas. There is a theory behind, but I'm trying to make it as simple as possible so that people can use it in everyday life. It's available everywhere. And I've talked about this, born beautiful babies, we become frogs. How can we revert to being princes again? One solution is to wait for the kiss of the princess. The other is to read the book. The ebook is only $5. I'm not going to become rich if you buy it, but I may become rich if you tell all your friends. So you don't have to buy it, just tell all your friends. There's a short version here, but there's also a free sample, about 50, 40 pages more. And this is the basic chapter. This is a very useful chapter. Reader comments, did people like it? Let's have a look. So here are the English speakers. And there's a few. And then there's a few more. And more. And more. I'm not going to tell you, you're probably getting dizzy. So I'm going to stop. We go on and on and on and on and on and on. They're not fake. Etc. 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 There's pages of them. I love to collect them. They keep me motivated. So reading the book, hopefully once you get past the theory, which is also fun, you select something that you like to change, and then you can sign a contract, because I'm on here, and it's free for you. So it's a Google form, but what you do is you enter your email address. I'm not collecting email addresses, but you need to type your nickname or something, and then, well, I can't move on unless I complete this, and then it asks you certain questions, and it produces a form that you receive on your email, you and your partner, where you actually state what you want to change, the benefits, the penalties, the rewards, and your partner can motivate you or punish you if he or she wants, because she or he is your buddy, your let's say the one who's your witness, the one who controls how you're doing with your program. And for example, you might state that if I don't do my homework 3 hours a day or something, or if I don't clean up my house, then my partner, who will come and check, can use this $10 or 10 euros that I gave him and donate it to whoever he or she wants. There's ideas about penalties, but it's a nice contract, because I did find out through the years when I used it with my students that it works with a lot of people. So it's been successful. The book has sold, I don't know, probably together 20 or 30,000 copies in Greece only. I haven't had much success in other countries because you need to promote it, just like I started doing it now. But it's up to you, as I said. The contents, very quickly, there are 3 parts. Part 1, choices. You need to realize that our life, we are the sum total of our choices. And if we choose to do something, then that has an outcome. So we need to accept responsibility. We need to accept that if it's to be, it's up to me. We need to stop blaming others. So the whole first part of the book is devoted to that. If we don't realize that if we want change, we need to change, then we're going to keep blaming others. Part two is a little theory on the theories of change, why people change, why they don't change, and what we found scientifically in terms of what works and what doesn't. There's a big chapter on a big part on changing our thoughts, because they can be before our actions. Changing the way we think, changing with the way we talk, changing our emotions. There's a big part in where you need to decide about a goal and you walk through with you pick a goal, you find out when it happened. For instance, I find out that I tend to eat a lot. When do I tend to eat a lot? When I'm sitting with friends, when I'm in front of the TV, etc. So you gather the antecedents, and then you enlist your friends, because you can't do everything by yourself. It's much better if you have a buddy or someone else who helps you, or maybe a team. Maybe you find a whole team of people and you work together towards the same goal or different goals. Then you design your program and you implement it. And there's a few motivational chapters here. You need desire, you need persistence. And if you wish to invest on this. What is this? It's personal loving how to learn, because everything you want to do, someone else has done it. You need to find out how other people did it and then follow the best practices. There are examples on weight loss, on sales, on cutting down expenses. And then the big question, can you do it? Can anybody do it? And again, through stories of people who were successful, through cartoons, through jokes. I think it's a very motivational book. This was the best, by the way. Do you want to take a time out to ask any questions, or because I keep talking, I'm going to stop sharing. So back to discussing the books. Let's discuss. Let me describe the second book. By the way, it's been translated to Bulgarian, and if anyone is interested in translating it, English, Bulgarian, Greek, Spanish, if you wish, or Chinese, or German, whatever you, I'm happy to discuss cooperation. It's a funny cover. Again, this is me. Angelos. The idiots are out and about. It's the conditions of your life, or changing the way you see your life. Again, you can find it everywhere. You can find the abridged version. So a little, I think it's 100 pages instead of the 300 pages here. So again, there's a fun book which which helps you with the online course that you can find here. It's short 10 minutes or 20 exercises workbook to help you complete the exercises. Now, this book has 3 parts. You might be interested in this. Let's do this. There is sound, but it's just music.
Introducing Baltoon.
I think that was better than me. So, what is the book all about? There's the Serenity Prayer, which you probably heard. Grant me the courage to change the things that I can change, the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, and the wisdom to know the difference between the two. Most people fail in part 3, the wisdom to know the difference between what they can change and what they cannot change. So we spend a lot of time and effort and energy trying to change things that we cannot change. This book will help you deal effectively with others who annoy you, but also with yourself, your thoughts, because a lot of the times our thoughts are irrational and they're not helping us at all. There's good questions that you will learn how to ask yourself. Is there something I can do to solve the problem? What? Is the problem worth my time and energy? How is my behavior helping me deal with this? For instance, when you're fighting with someone, how is getting angry helping you deal with the issue? Then what can happen to me if I continue being angry and frustrated and depressed? How long, or how can I use this event? What have I learned from this failure, for instance? And what's a good thing in everything that happens to me? See, if you ask good questions, then you redirect your focus and you can start feeling better. It's full of quotes and cartoons, and here's a quote: you can't stop the birds of worry from flying over your head, but you can stop them from building the nest on your head. Now, the special part about this book is that there's a character as well, Don Stressotti, just like a modern Don Quixote. Don Stressot from Stress is my hero. In the third part, after reading the theory, after learning about the raw method, Don Quixote, Don Stressot, wakes up in the morning and tries to apply the theory in everyday life situations. So, for instance, we will follow him and watch him as he goes through difficult situations and different scenarios that you might face during the day. So there's different parts in the third part: morning drills, going to work, driving drills if you get angry when you're driving, anger drills when you get to work with other people and getting annoyed. There's a story about, there's an exercise about people who are negative, and Don Stressot buys a piggy bank, and every time someone says something negative in the office or is not in a good mood, they receive a ticket and they have to pay €2 in the piggy bank. So at the end of the week, they take the money and they, depending how negative people are at the office, they might go for lunch, dinner, buy drinks, or might even go for a trip using the money that they paid for fines. So there's a lot of exercises like this. On the way back, there's exercises when you get home, how to appreciate the day, because you don't have a lot of these. There's this reminder. he talks to himself and says, when he wakes up, I won't let any idiot ruin my day because this is my day. And he knows that there will be at least 5 or 10 idiots that will annoy him during the day. But he also knows that occasionally he is the idiot for other people. Because we tend to think that it's the others. And as I mentioned, I created the Idiots Club. And I'm the president at the Idiots Club. But few people have joined because they don't want to say I'm an idiot. But those who did have a sense of Facebook group here. Now you can see my Facebook. But I hope I'll quickly find Idiots Club. Idiots Club, which you can join. There you go. A few days ago, we had 606 members. So I urgently posted, help, we need someone to become the 667th. We didn't want the 666. So there's a few jokes, there's a few stories, some in Greek, unfortunately, because they're Greeks. It's fun. I'd like to see you there if you wish. So let's summarize about the book, and I'll show you a couple of applications, and then I'll start talking. If you want to understand what stress is and where it comes from, you want to control your thoughts, both books are about controlling your thoughts. And if you want to deal with problems and other people, getting upset by others and with others, and getting upset with yourself, there's a big chapter on anger. And a couple of days ago, people were very anger. And I think I clarified who is it for? It's for everyone. It's for your kids, it's for your friends, it's for your enemies as well. So I'm just going to show you the applications, and I'll stop. Free stuff applications. There's 3 or 4 of them. I keep adding some. This one is if you wish to change the way you feel. It's a funny table where you choose the way you want to respond, the way you're going to respond to others, instead of saying, when they ask you, hi, how are you? Instead of saying, oh, well, I'm okay, not too bad. There's a whole bunch of words that you can use and be different. And the game here is you pick a number from 1 to 40 and you pick a letter, say C5, and then the word that you hit on is the word that you're going to use today. How are you, Angelos? Oh, glorious, passionate. How do you feel? Energized, blessed, bombshell. And if you want to play more, there's the spin wheels here. So clicking on the wheel will give you a word to use for the rest of the day. Commercial. How do I get rid of this? No? Oh, no. Well, anyway, I can't see the top of it, so I can't close it. Never mind. You can do it on your own. So if you spin the wheel, then it pops out a word for you. Back to the applications. The second one is the raw method. By the way, this is a game that's, we're stuck a little bit here. Hello. Let's try it again. So I'm just about to show you the raw method, which is one of the applications, the free applications. Why not present the PowerToon presentation, if it works. It doesn't look like it's going to do us a favor. So methods. We talked a little bit about the raw methods, and it's basically fixing the things that worry you and accepting the things that you can't change, not wasting time or energy on things that you cannot change, because your time and your energy is limited. They are limited. So the raw method says there are only two options for our problems in life. Anything that you have in your mind, you can use the raw method to solve it. Option A, you can do something about it. Option B, you cannot do something about it. Once you take a time out, you learn how to examine whether you can do something about it and what you can do about it. Then you go ahead and fix it if you can. Use the help of other people, etc. But someone is drawing over my presentation. Doesn't matter. So you can either do something about it or you cannot do something about it, but you shouldn't waste your time and energy for things that you cannot change. Once you learn how to make this distinction between the two options, you stop fighting things that you cannot change. And remember that your time is limited, your energy is limited. So make sure that you get your priorities right. And I put this in a figure. Option A, I can do something about it. I engage in problem solving. Option B, nothing I can do. I need to change the way I feel. I need to change the way I perceive the situation. So it's not mine, it's ancient wisdom, but I was the one that I put it in an infographic for the first time. So here's a nice infographic you can download if you wish, and you can use it with your kids, with your family. It works, it works. Number one, describe the problem. Number two, who is to blame? Does blaming help? No or no? Pick one. Which one? And then you need to ask yourself, is there something you can do? If yes, you go this way and you employ problem solving. If no, you go this way. If you go this way and you solve the problem, fine, no problem. If you don't, then you need to go back to option A, B, or C. So examine your other options, apply those. If it doesn't work, yikes. If it works, fine, no problem. But if it doesn't work, then eventually you need to go to option B. You tried everything, nothing that you can do changes the situation. So you need to go to option B, and option B says, at the moment, there's nothing I can do. So therefore, I need to change the way I see it. And here are some techniques that I describe in the book, or I need to manage my emotions. And how do I do that? Other techniques that you can use. It's probably too small for you to see, but you can download the infographic from here. Okay, so in a graph, this is the raw method. It's also in a table. So that's about it. And let me see if there's something more you want to have a look. We discussed the change contract with the other book. And this is what I would really like to do is to change the community, to get a group of people that can help us improve the society in many things. And there's guidelines and directions if you want to go to school and apply it with kids. Use rewards, get a company to sponsor it, incentivize it, and produce a competition between the students that can be publicized through the TV, etc. It's a good idea, except I need to get a group of people who are willing to help change the society. Now I'm going to stop my presentation, my long presentation, and I'm open to any of your questions if you wish. So people, if you want to ask something, either use the chat box if you cannot talk, or just pick up the mic. Have I lost you all, or is it my internet that's not working?